BLEACH Rebirth of Souls drops early 2025. Finally, we have a date on the horizon that we can look forward to. What is up everyone, it is me DevilNeverCry, and for those of you that have been living under a rock, you might have missed Xbox's showcase today at Tokyo Game Show, where there was a debut of a new trailer for BLEACH Rebirth of Souls. Today's trailer decided to fixate on one of the hypest and arguably best moments of Bleach, that of course being the showdown between Ichigo and Ulquiorra. And with that, the trailer confirmed a few things, the first of which being that we'll be able to play as Ulquiorra, alongside a version of him that has access to Segunda Etapa, but we'll also be able to play a version of Ichigo that has access to the Visored Mask alongside full holification. And of course it's confirmed that we'll be able to battle it out in Hueco Mundo. More importantly though, alongside some new sweet ass art, we do have confirmation at the end of the trailer that the game will be launching in early 2025. Which, in all honesty, took me by surprise. I would have thought that the game was penciled in perhaps for this year, considering the rate at which we've been getting new content. It seems like they've been throwing new character trailers at us pretty much every week, with most recently being Rangiku, Toshiro, and of course Captain Zaraki. If anything, with the third course of the 1000-year Blood War set to air in early October, you would have thought that they perhaps would have coincided the drop of the game around this time to sort of capitalize on the hype. Though with that completely out of the window with this new date that's been announced, there is always the chance that they might throw out a demo, but I won't hold my breath. The announced date is also rather vague. Early 2025 can mean literally anything. I feel as though if they truly meant early 2025, they would have committed by saying Q1 2025, which would have locked them into earlier than that part of the year. But with the wording as it stands now, it could literally come anytime I'd imagine before summer 2025, which in my eyes leaves an open-ended 6-month period in which the game could launch. But don't just take my word for it, let me know down in the comments below when you think the game will launch, as I'm curious to see what people think. If there's one other thing from this trailer that stands out as a highlight, aside from the new announcements of course, it's just how gorgeous this game is, whether it's the animations and the particle effects in combat, or even just the attention to detail in the actual level itself. From a visual perspective, this game is one of the best looking anime games that I've seen. Right on up there, if not even better than Sparking Zero, which I was luckily able to get hands on with earlier this month. But I feel this trailer also pulls some other things into question too. The first of which being, how many other Espada are we going to be able to play as? In the roster of numbers 0 through 9, there are definitely a few in there whose mechanics or abilities might not necessarily mesh with the current battle systems that we've got in play here in Rebirth of Souls. But even if they do manage to get them all involved, I'm curious to see just how they're going to handle some of those tricky abilities. The other question that springs to mind is whether or not we're going to be able to fight in other locations in Hueco Mundo. In the footage that we see in the trailer, they're fighting atop of Las Noches, but it makes me wonder whether or not we'll be fighting on the interior, as we've seen in some of the episodes in the anime itself. Funnily enough, out of all of the characters that I expected them to showcase next, it definitely was not going to be Ulquiorra, especially considering that there are some characters that we saw in the initial trailer, like Renji for example, who we've not actually got a personalized character trailer for so far. But let's be honest, in terms of popularity, if it's between Renji and Ulquiorra, we definitely know who wins that fight. But that about wraps it up for this video. Still holding out hope that we'll get a demo at some point, and that the game will launch sometime in maybe January or February, as opposed to much later in the year. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video, do be sure to leave a like, and consider subscribing for more BLEACH Rebirth of Souls content. With all that said and done, it has been me, DevilNeverCry. I'd like to thank all of you for watching. As always, I'll see you all next video.